Hello, it's Stuart here from Silver Arrow Gaming. Today I'm starting up my new Forza Motorsport series, Car Wars. The series is a comparison series in which we'll compare two cars on any specific track based on their lap times on the specific circuit. Today it's old versus new, the 2009 Mark II Ford Focus RS versus the 2017 Mark III Ford Focus RS on the Monza Autodromo Nazionale Monza circuit. However, today, for the Car Wars series, all cars will be their standard unmodified versions. So for example, the 2009 Ford Focus RS will be a C-Class of a PI of 437 compared to the 2017, which will be a B-Class. This is so we can get a precise accurate result from the basis of the car's standard form. I've already tested when you modify the 2009 Ford Focus RS to a B-Class PI of 600, it will easily match the 2017 Ford Focus RS due to the fact that there's much more room for modifications. You can increase the power, increase the drivetrain, the width of the tire spec and what material they're made out of, just making the car more efficient on the track. So without further ado, let's get into the first race with the 2009 Focus RS. Of course, this is a circuit that I barely race. I think this is maybe my fourth or fifth time on this circuit. I rarely ever race it, and even the 2009 I'm more comfortable with this car. You know, I've played with it in previous Forza Motorsport titles, and hopefully that doesn't determine the timings when compared to the 2017 model, which I'm not as confident with as I haven't used it very often. Launches really well for a C-Class. Bit of wind spins out. We're getting up into third gear, we're already doing 80 miles per hour. Into fourth. Pulls really well and sounds incredibly good. 2.5 litre turbocharged petrol engine. Front wheel drive, and made it to a 6-speed manual transmission. One problem we do have with this car is a bit of understeer and a bit of torque steer, but that is understood from a 300 horsepower front wheel drive hatchback. We picked out a bit in that corner, big driver error there. Of course, this is the first race that I have done today, so I will be trying to maybe warm up, and there will be a few mistakes, but whatever. Hopefully none of these will hold that against me. One thing I have to say about this car interior is it's just a bit boring and plain looking, you know, compared to the newer Ford Focus models such as the Fiesta and the new 2017 Ford Mondeo. It just seems a bit plain and a bit boring really, and quite cheap. But I do love the wee turbo boost gauges up in the dashboard. Run a wee bit wide there, still perfect turn, not too bad. I have to say the car pulls really well through the gears. There hasn't been any major problems yet, and the visibility is really good within the car. We'll now see how it does in one of the faster speed corners off this track. A wee bit of tire squill there. Better than just torturing the tyres on Friday morning, really. Again, up in the fifth gear now, and we're doing about 125 miles per hour. 218, not bad. Of course, you have to remember this is a C-Class car. 218 isn't bad. You know, so we're doing about 140 miles per hour down there. C-Class, small hatchback. I do love just revving it all the way out, picking down the gears. It just sounds unbelievable. It sounds a very, very solid, well-built car. This is one of the very few cars I would always use in Forza Motorsport. It's one of my favourite Ford models. Generally because it just has the looks of an RS model Ford vehicle. Seconds off the lap, it's not too bad. Not doing as bad as I thought I would. Just keeping the foot down, another perfect turn, that's good. Hopefully that'll equate to a very, very good competitive time for this car. Every second counts when you're comparing it to a newer, more advanced model. Again, in terms of driving feel, the new model may not feel that good. The old model may be the more exciting, more enjoyable drive. And that's what it's all about whenever you buy a car. You want it for the looks, the performance, and how it makes you feel behind the wheel. So, of course, I'm never going to know what that feels like sitting here playing Forza Motorsport, but in the real world, it's very, very important that the car makes you feel special when you're driving. Car, the red line. Oh, a bit wiggly on the American there. I was flipping under in my foot again. A very bad turn there. Well, Forza thinks it's a good turn, but could have been a much, much better turn. Turn. Hopefully the sector time is a bit better, but going by that first chicane, probably not. Nope. Marginally better. Third. Just pin it. Just put the foot down and this car will go wherever you want it to. Well, most of the time anyway. I have had instances where I've understeered off the track. But I'm just watching anti-boost gauge climb and drop. It's just so much fun. Taking into consideration this is the last lap, and we are posting 207.972. It's a very, very good time for a front wheel drive C-Class hatchback. Of course we will see how that compares to the new model. Of course this model over the last has been updated. Instead of a 2.5 litre, I believe it's a 5-cylinder engine in the Ford Focus RS. It's the same engine that's in the Ford Focus ST, and I believe the Ford Focus ST from that generation is also a 5-cylinder engine. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not too sure, I can't really remember, I'm just throwing these figures off the top of my head, but this is a 4-cylinder turbocharged 2.3 litre engine from the EcoBoost range, meaning this car is going to make more power, more torque. It's mated to a 6-speed transmission driving an all-wheel drive system, a new all-wheel drive system from Ford, something that the fans of the Ford Focus RS has wanted for many, many years. And of course this model is now going to the USA, meaning it's going to appeal to a much larger market it's going to, it's going to be out there for more people to enjoy, and that's something it's great to see. Such an icon, a future classic being available to everyone. But enough of the talking and the ramblings, let's get on with the race. I do love them blue brake calipers. They just say Brembo across it. I mind down at the Ford dealership just across the town, they had the nitrous blue Ford Focus RS. Amazing car, really great interior. Oh, bad launch. But it stands out from the crowd. Although it's a boring looking Ford Focus hatchback, it stands out and it's appealing. Considering my mother actually looked at it and went, "Oh, what's that? That looks nice." Whereas it says Fords are just a wee bit so-so kind of thing. So far this car's handling much better. I was 126 miles per hour through that corner. Let's see how we come across the first chicane. Oh, cooked it a bit there. Feels really, really balanced. Oh my god. Again, it's a very similar type of setup with the boost gauges in the middle of the dashboard. That was a bad turn. A bit of understeer there, a bit of a driver error. But in terms of setup inside the car, it's very similar to the 2009 model, except it's much classier looking. It's got a lot more gadgets, a lot more buttons and dials, and wee displays and everything. Really bring the driver into his element within the car and really include him within the car, giving him information how the car is doing and what's going on with specific attributes of the car. Of course, we have miles per hour there in the middle in digital, and we have the analog miles per hour measuring tool. I don't know what that would call, needle and fucking dials or whatever. Of course, this car bloody well stops well, so it does. But it does understeer a bit. You can hear them tyres being tortured. That's just expected whenever you're out in the track. Maybe he wants to get a bit of heat in them, get a bit more grip on the road. I'm sure we'll see these lap times coming down significantly. Already we're about 4 seconds behind the previous Ford Focus RS model. Sitting about 155 miles per hour there, which isn't bad. This is an incredibly good speed for a hatchback. Holding about 120, 130 miles per hour through that corner. It doesn't really, it doesn't feel as though it's breaking a sweat. It doesn't feel unbalanced. It feels very well handled and definitely out of the corners. It's got that all-wheel drive grip, which is necessary for getting the speed. Probably best to stay off the walls, but sure, whatever. Coming out of that there, getting up into 4th gear, about 100 miles per hour if we change. I wonder if we'll ever see maybe a dual clutch automatic flappy paddle gearbox in this car. Hopefully not. I know a lot of the Ford purists are adamant that this car remain manual 6-speed. I'm one of those. I prefer a 6-speed transmission. It involves the driver much more. It feels as though you're in control of the vehicle, and I remember reading about some of the anti-stall features of this vehicle and reading some of the comments. A lot of people just weren't happy about it, but of course that's expected. You can't please everyone with a car. Throw a bit wide and pull it in for the exit of the turn. Of course, in this car here with all-wheel drive, just keep the foot down and keep it going. But I really do like the interior of this car. It seems very upper class for a Ford model. Very well built in terms of everything's where you kind of need it, within reach, and easily accessible and easily seen. Get the power down and just try and pull the front end around there. Fractionally better. Yep, that is my other wing mirror that was indeed sitting on the floor. Definitely, if I owned this car, I would not be driving it this way. And I would be a bit more upset about the wing mirror sitting on the floor. Second off the lap already. Oh, it feels good through the corners, it feels really good. There's not much lean on it, but then again there wasn't very much lean on the last car either. It's a very solid platform, good suspension setup, good stiffness and everything. Through these corners at about 80 miles per hour, which isn't bad. Let's come up to the checkered flag. We're sitting on par to maybe beat the last one by about 4 or 5 seconds. 202.267. That's quite a difference whenever you take into consideration, but also if you take into consideration one's a C class, one's a B class. But there's, you know, oh, couldn't have given me the million, could you? Of course, over the course of the lap, there is a significant difference. There's about 4 seconds in it, and that's a lot whenever you take into consideration that both these cars are they're slightly similar. But again, they're very, very different. This one, all-wheel drive, it's got the grip, it's got the traction, it's got the control. Whereas the Ford Focus RS, it's got the fun, it's got the drama. It really, really makes the driver work to get the car around those corners at the speeds that he or she wants. In terms of which I would rather have, probably the 2009. The interior's not of high quality, but whenever you look at the shape of the car, big wide fenders, crazy big exhaust, big diffuser, it just feels like a Ford performance model, a Ford RS model. Whereas the other one's just a bit stealthy. Of course, both cars are great cars. They both fill, you know, I wouldn't say a gap, but it fills a role in the driver or the purchaser's life. The new 2017, practicality, boot space, speed, enjoyment, excitement, safety. Whereas this one here is for a young man who doesn't really have kids. He just wants a fast car that, you know, goes like hell. He gets enjoyment out of it, and people will look at it and go, holy fuck, what the hell's that? Every day I see one, there's one that lives around the corner for me. Every day I see it, it's like, fuck, Ford Focus RS, you know, heads all over the place, I'm looking at it. It's the same with Toyota Supras to me. I'll look at the car and go, fuck, Mark IV Supra. Other people will be like, oh, it's just a Toyota, who the fuck cares, or oh, it's just a Ford. But looking at this car here, it's exciting, it's got drama. Even the wee accents here on the side with the blue RS badge, it's like, or the wee vents even, it's adding to the excitement of the car. Of course, with all the features that the new car has, such as Bluetooth phone, it's got that new heads-up display, it's got bigger wheels, it's probably more efficient in terms of fuel efficiency, and it's practical. It's an incredibly good car, and it does look very good. However, on the track, it wipes the floor with the other Ford Focus in terms of driving performance, and the way that I could put it around the track, it definitely felt more stable. It felt like more of a driver's car, basically. You know, it felt as if you could do more with the car without maybe surpassing your own limits, or without killing yourself, basically. Obviously, until I can drive one of these on the road and compare it in real life to the Ford Focus RS, I have to just go with it in the game. And at the end of the first episode, I can draw to a conclusion that the new model 2017 Ford Focus RS is better. Goes around the track better, it has better feel, you can do more with it, you can push it harder. And I dare say if you slap a good tune on this car, better brakes, increase the engine power, you could be well under 2 minutes on the Monza circuit. So with that, I'm going to conclude the first episode of Car Wars. If you have enjoyed, leave a comment down in the section, or the comment section below. Tell me what you enjoyed, or tell me what car you would like to see, or what you would like to see changed for the future episodes, and I will implement them. And I guess I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk